Hello everybody. So this video is entitled Hims Stock Epic Rise. We are up 40% right now. And this may be just getting started. We are just starting. So let's go over the big news. Of course, some bears were still thinking it could be fake. And turns out it's not fake. We had 3 announcements, 4 actually, all at the same time, about 3 hours ago, confirming from all sorts of parties, including the head of the FDA, Marty Makary, congratulating both NVO and Hims for the partnership, letting us know that the lawsuit is dropped. NVO drops the lawsuit. Now the FDA is not disappointed anymore because they had a handshake, right? NVO had a partnership with Hims, so they get along. So the FDA is not unhappy anymore. And of course, Hims, the good news is that they will make available both oral and injectable. You know, some people were wondering whether oral were part of the mix or not. Well, they clearly, in the Hims Coms announcement, they clearly note that the partnership is for both oral and injectable Wegovy. So this is a really big deal. I'm very happy about it that it's announced. Again, the big issue, really quickly, is the whole idea that Hims ever compounded for people who were not eligible for compounding, right? This is a sweeping statement that has been made by a lot of people, and in my view, I've always said on this channel that given how professional Hims, given how Hims is kind of like the leader in the field, I doubt they ever compounded GLP-1 for people who were not eligible for compounding, right? Compounding eligible, you need to have eligibility for it, right? So I doubt they do that, but as Makary said, they will limit compounded GLP-1 for only rare FDA compliant cases. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of FDA-compliant cases for which Hims was compounding. Anyways, I ramble. Let me go back to the big news, of course, which is Hims stock being up nearly 41% right now. At one point during the day, we're up 50%. Remember that we are up on a very awful macro backdrop, right? The whole market doesn't have a lot of good news to digest right now. So even though Hims is up, the indices are not up today. And so it's very impressive that actually Hims is able to hold this rally. And also note, finally, that the stock price, so at 21.90, I guess a little more up now, but 0.098. So Hims remains ever cheap. I have never really seen Hims expensive on my metric EV over GP over RG. It is now, I guess it's like second quartile cheap at 0.09, right? It's not as cheap as a few weeks ago when we fell to 0.05 or like 5.8 or something, but it's still dirt cheap. Remember, a lot of the time last year when this stock was hyped up by half of the internet, it was trading at 0.15, which was still cheap, right? And I think we'll get back to a 0.15. I think this stock over time will get to perhaps a 0.5 when everybody agrees about the thesis on the stock. Right now, still tremendous amount of bears, tremendous amount of people just don't see Hims and Hers becoming a company like Netflix. They don't see it becoming a company like a Shopify, right? But I definitely do, in my view, a subscription to a all-inclusive health service where you have one subscription, one payment a month, and you get all of your low-level to medium-level health needs taken care of, including your labs, including epic cancer testing, including any pill you may need, all bundled in a monthly subscription, which includes unlimited doctor visit. In my view, that's the future, right? That's why I think the good comparison for him is the Spotify or the Netflix of healthcare. That's a really good comparison. Both of these companies use recommender systems. Hims uses recommender system. Anyways, even if you don't agree with the thesis, even if you just want to look at valuation, ask yourself, right, in light of this partnership, is it realistic that this company will do $6.5 billion of sales in 2030, given that they are 2.3 right now? In my view, it's entirely possible. They're entirely on track to doing that. Also, keep in mind, in my valuation, I left the forward revenue growth at 29%. This revenue growth number does not assume any deals with Wegovy. It does not include oral semaglutide. It's not included in there. So with this deal and with oral coming to Hims, think about that growth number, how it's gonna go up, right? It's gonna be more than that. It might go back into the 50%, in which case Hims is dirt cheap. Again, I cannot understand how the stock is still, even after a 40% rise, and it's a big deal, I still cannot understand how it's not trading at a higher price. $22 in my view. It's just a steal. Just if you look at the valuation, if you look at $6.5 billion in 2030, this only assumes something like 23% compounded average revenue growth. 23% over the next few years. That's all it assumes. This is a company that has the capability to probably grow between 35 and 45% each year for the next few years, right? So, and they have a history of being the king of sandbag. So, of course, after an up day, we're gonna be up like I don't know, 40, maybe 45% today. Of course, Tuesday, I would expect the stock to be down a little bit, maybe down 10% tomorrow as people take profits. But if you're a long-term investor and not a trader, this stock at $22, in my view, is just a no-brainer. I love it very much. I'm very happy to see how positive this development has been. And Hims remains one of the most volatile growth stocks out there. And on this channel, I cover a lot of volatile stocks, right? Strategy, Hims, well, definitely volatile, but definitely volatile in the right way today. So anyways, this was not investment advice. This is not financial advice. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.